Okay, now some more work that needs to be done to our movie poster. I'm going to go down to the bottom of the layers palette and I'm going to create a brand new blank layer. And I'm going to rename this guy to Black. And I'll move him underneath the From Beneath layer. And I want this guy to actually fill this entire bottom right corner, the entire bottom portion, really, of the movie poster with pure black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the L key on my keyboard. That grabs the Lasso tool out of the toolbox. I'll hit Shift-L for the Polygonal Lasso tool. That's what I'm after there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly sort of freehand a selection around this bottom area here, something like this. I'm really not being careful. I'm just kind of quickly making my selection here, finish them off there. Okay, great. Now, do you remember your keyboard shortcuts for filling with your foreground and background colors? To fill with the foreground color, which is black in my case here, make sure you hit the D key on your keyboard. That'll make sure that your foreground and background colors go back to their defaults. Now, to fill with the foreground color, I'm going to hit the Option key and hit Delete simultaneously, or Alt and Delete on the Windows side. And then, of course, Command D or Control D to deselect. I'll zoom out a little bit and see how things are looking. All right, now I may want to do a little bit of adjusting here at this point. Let's see. I'm going to go back to my Move tool, V on the keyboard. I'm going to make a couple of minor adjustments here. I'll go to my Sewer Creature, back to my Free Transform. This really isn't showing you anything you haven't seen already. I'm just being kind of nitpicky here. Maybe I want this guy about like that. I thought he was kind of angled a little bit too much. Let's lock that in here. Same with my From Beneath. I think I want to adjust him a little bit. What's cool is that guy has that layer style on him, right? So the layer style is going to go wherever the layer goes, which is kind of cool. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Okay, you know what I might do as well is just kind of fill in. See how there's some white way over on the left and some white here down on the right? Let's fill that in inside our black layer. I'll go back to my Polygonal Lasso tool here and just kind of quickly patch this up here a little bit. Again, I'm not even really being careful here. There, something like that. Looks great. You don't have to be too careful here in Photoshop with this sort of thing. Fill with the foreground color. There we are. All right, things are looking pretty cool here. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, well, every movie has credits that go along with it, so we should go and open up some credits. So I'm going to go Command-O here, or Control-O on the Windows side, and sure enough, there is credits.psd inside your Chapter 5 folder. Open that guy up. There's our credits that we're going to drop into that bottom corner. Now, I'm going to head up to my application bar. I want to arrange my documents as floating windows. There we are, something like this. Oh, there's my statue from the previous lesson there. I'll just get rid of him. I'm going to take this guy, just sort of position these guys side by side. I'll take my credits here and simply drag and drop them over into my 11 by 17 inch movie poster here. It's a little tricky when you're working with multiple image windows here, but let's see if we can get this guy set up here. Use your arrow keys there, nudge that in there. We can get rid of the old credits there. There it is. I'm going to go back into full screen mode here. Find that to be easiest. Now, watch out for your stacking order. Notice how my credits is in between the black layer and the From Beneath layer, and I can see the word crawl is actually getting cut off by the layer style that's on the From Beneath layer. So I'm going to take my credits and I'm going to drag him above the From Beneath. There, that fixes that. Now, if you wanted to, this is optional. Actually, I'm kind of looking at this. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to use my Free Transform here just to rotate this ever so slightly. Maybe it's me, but it looks like it's a little closer to the bottom of the word beneath over on the right here than it is over on the left. Absolutely it is. So I'm going to hit Command-T here for my Free Transform. Now here's something I can show you. Notice this little target right in the center of the Free Transform. This is the little pinwheel that controls where things are going to get rotated from. So right now I'm rotating from the center of this object here. I'm just going to hit Escape here to get out of that, and then Command-T or Control-T to get back in. Instead, I'm going to move this little target up into the top right corner, and now when I drag, notice that's now the swivel point there. So I'm just going to pull this up just a little bit, maybe something like that, maybe right in there. Use your own discretion. Enter that in there. Use your arrow keys if you want to adjust your positioning there. Things are looking great here inside our movie poster. Okay, now as you can see inside the layers palette, things are starting to get complex. I've got lots and lots of layers happening here, so we should start to organize things. What we have here inside Photoshop to help us out is something called layer groups. Way down at the bottom of the palette, you'll see this little folder icon, create a new group. I'm going to click on that guy, and that gives me a folder inside the layers palette that I can actually use to help sort and organize my layers. So instead of leaving this guy as group 1, I'll double click on that and I'm going to call him movie poster title. Fantastic. Now I want to move some layers inside this new layer group. How do you do it? I'll start with my credits here. I'm simply going to grab the credits layer, click and drag him up into the folder there. That's all there is to it. Same with from beneath. I'll just drag him underneath credits, locks him in. Notice they get indented there. And I'll do the same with the black layer. Wonderful stuff. Collapse the whole shebang down. Now that's a lot nicer to look at inside the layers palette.